Tied up in nights. I knew I was someone, but somehow I forgot. Did you cut off all of my branches? Did you burn down all of my vines? I lay down in the sun in the cool of the night. Out my branches, my friends drank all my wine. We had us a party, but you had a terrible time. accusers will stand some more. Our accusers will stand some more.
Hey everybody, how's it going? All right, getting turn the effects off here. All right, can everybody hear me? Is that a thing? I've set up a new protocol and all the things. Hey Daniel, how are you? And I'm not sure that everyone can hear me, but I really want them to. Trevor, hey. So I have like new effects and stuff that I can do. Woo! Around with that. It does. Good. Awesome. Yay. Arthur, it's good to see you. I wasn't sure if you were going to be out today. Taking photos and stuff, so it's good to see you. Turning up my volume here. Today's what is today? How's everybody feeling? I'm curious. Becky, hi. It's good to see you. How you doing? Thank you for being here. It's awesome. Really appreciate it. Just situating my microphone here. There you go. Tilt it down so you can hear my guitar when I start playing. Today's what do you call today? So many people are so happy and so many people are angry, and I am optimistically hesitant. That's how I feel. Strange day. I'm over here plunging my coffee. You need a good distraction. Oh man, I'm here for it, man. Should we just break into song? Should that just be where we start? Audio seems to be a tad low, but it's good. Okay. Let me see if I can fix that here. I can get a little bit of volume happening here. Oh, that's interesting. What happens if I turn up the gain instead? Interesting. Playing around with stuff. We don't need all that head noise. I don't know what's going on there. That's on correctly. This is right. Here we go. Trying to figure this out here. That's on correctly. That's where that is. Man, what is with that head noise? Things to figure out. We're just going to work through it tonight and see what's going on. Does anyone else hear all that white noise? Oh, that may actually be the sound of my computer humming. No, it's not. Yes, songs. All right. Well, let's jump into songs and then we'll figure it out as we go. Oh man, what am I gonna sing? Does anyone have a request? Like a Cat Jones request. We're just doing my songs today because I did not get to play a show after the last election, and I really needed to. So we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it happen, 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 happen. We're gonna make it happen, yeah. We're gonna make it happen, yeah. There was a skunk in my near vicinity. It is unusual for them to be out during this time of day. Yeah, losing does kind of seem appropriate. All right, well, we'll do the losing then. That sounds awesome. Switching on the juice. Let's see here. Turn that down a little bit. Losing, and now I feel like That's very loud here. Turn it down just a little so I don't distort the mess out of y'all. Lightning came down. Sorry. Complicated things. All right, here we go. Lightning came down with a violent cry, threw me to the ground and kicked out of my bed. Left me there and stared me in the face. This is not my time. I will not be replaced. There it is. Ah. I've been breathing all day. I don't know about you guys. It's been really nice. Working really hard at it. Thank you. Thank you, Arthur. Yay. Does that first next to your name mean that you were the first one to subscribe or the first to follow? I don't know what that means. We also got some new followers yesterday that we should acknowledge because they started following after the stream ended. So, Bippity Boppity Og, velkommen. Zielzappel, velkommen. And Luftor Hjalmars, velkommen. It's nice to see you. I enjoyed your presence yesterday. Thank you for following. I appreciate it. Yay, people saying hi to each other. That makes me happy. The sun's starting to dip away over here. I was going to try to get but we've got a lot of cloud cover today, so maybe next week we can make that happen. But yeah, it's good to see you guys. I'm so glad you're here. Yeah. Yay. Yay. So how's everybody doing? I am very curious. You don't have to tell me how you're doing, but I am very interested. Yeah, it's it's a fascinating time. I don't know whether to feel nervous or relieved. I mean, I'm glad they finally got on with like finishing or getting close to finishing the count. Cat needs 1,000-foot Ethernet cable for outside. Oh, are we having trouble buffering? I have a thingy that might be useful. Maybe I could buy another thingy for doing outside streams. Is it all foggy woggy? Meow, 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 meow. I have a friend who I live close to, who was leaving this morning, and she was telling me about her family because she was on their way to their house. And she's really awesome, sweet girl, kind of keeps to herself. Yeah, optimistically cautious. I think that is kind of the way to be right now. Hopeful. How are we going to use the last 6 months to change us, to make things good, to make things better, to make things more hopeful for all Americans. And I'm including like the last... I'm including Republicans in that statement as well, obviously there are groups who have their due deserved, and we have groups of people that kind of deserve, I think, to go first, that are not necessarily Republicans, but I do want to see people everywhere receiving hope and new life, Those will forever be known as flower pot mugs. Think, especially in the garden, right? Yeah, but fixing things for POC and Indigenous groups, I think, needs to be a priority. And I really hope that that gets to happen. And I really hope that like the lower class and the middle class get to, or the lower middle class get to find some hope over the poverty line, you know. It's all so hard. It's so complicated. There's so much work to do. So, yeah, it's a good time to think about all that work and to hope for the future. I feel like playing sometimes. So we're going to do that. But if you're lurking and you feel like you want to make yourself known, please do. I'd love to know you guys are here. Sometimes it feels like I'm counting dying stars. Depending on how high your volume is, you can totally hear my mouth sounds, and I apologize for mouth sounds. I apologize for mouth sounds, yeah. I apologize for mouth sounds, yeah, yeah. I apologize for mouth sounds, mouth sounds. Oh, I do actually bite, though. That's real. Turning down my tuner so you don't have to hear the clink. Anyone who knows me well knows that I do actually bite, and that I'm not afraid of it. Why is that buzzing? Why is that happening? Let's see if I can get that out there.
Sometimes it all has to go. Sometimes it all has to go. Sometimes surrender is the only way. Sometimes it all has to go. That felt so good. Hi, Incomplete Wisdom. Marcos, how are you? Dan, it's good to see you. Oh, let me turn off my effect there. It's good to see you guys. Marco, how are you doing? How are you feeling? You're feeling good. I know how you're doing, I think. America's Dulce Pontes. I should check that out. Also, thank you. Aw, Trevor, thank you for the hearts. It's hard to move in the right direction. It's confusing. Oh, that felt really good. Ow. Thank you guys. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, this has been a tough week for me. I got some news that a friend is in a coma, or was in a coma. He's now out of the coma, but he's in a vegetative state on Sunday, which was the day after her friend's memorial service. And then I got let go from my job. Woo! So it's been a bad day. It's been a bad week. But it's been really nice to come here and play music with you guys and enjoy you and spend time with you guys. I've really, really, really loved it, and I appreciate you guys. Bubbles. Should I be blowing bubbles right now? That's actually a really good idea. You can't see bubbles. Trevor, you're talking about Periscope right now. Thank you, Marco. I appreciate it. It was good to see you at the service on Saturday. I should explain the pink wig that I was wearing. It's actually on my way to see a couple of friends at a Halloween thing, and I didn't realize that I couldn't get out of the wig in time for the service until I was in it. And I was like, well, I guess I'm married into this. That sucks. So I tried to roll with it. And I don't know that it worked very well. But I do know that when Ben saw me, because I had the camera open for him for the whole service, I do know that when he saw me that he laughed really hard. And I sent him a text later and was like, yo, I'm really sorry about that. No, Periscope has bubbles at the bottom of the screen for people you follow. I can't see any but mine. I do follow people on Periscope. So I don't know. I've been on Periscope for a long time. 7 or 8 years. I think about the time it started. I could be wrong about that, but I do follow people. Yeah, kind of. Today's funny. I want to be around people today. Dan Silverman says, "You don't see me, Trevor. When you are in scopes, they appear." Oh, okay, interesting. I don't understand. You didn't start scoping again until recently, LOL. Oh, me? I took some time off. Yeah, when Abrasive closed, I took some time. I took about a year off. But I was pretty consistently, I think, sending some stuff up at Abrasive. And that was such a beautiful space. I have one stream available on, or maybe 2 streams available on Periscope, where I just went into our space and played the room, and I just saw it, and it's just such a beautiful moment to me. Really, really, really enjoyed being there, and enjoyed playing alone with people in this beautiful room in a space that I cared a lot about, and so the last scope you see is 4 years ago. Yeah, I definitely have done stuff before that, but I don't know if I kept them on there because I'm dumb and I delete things. Every time you say scope, I think of the mouthwash. So what have you all been watching to lighten your mood? I have been ingesting Doctor Who, the Peter Capaldi years, like crazy, to cope with the stress of this week. You think you're confusing? You're not confusing, Trevor. That's not true. And it's been really nice to see someone try to save the world. That's been so good. So good. I haven't been watching too many movies. Just Doctor Who. I just want to see the world get saved right now. That's it. That's all I want in the whole world. Let's sing a little bit of a Peace Be Still, shall we? This used to be my dad's guitar, and this is the first guitar that I ever learned to play on. I love it. It is a very special place in my heart. Sunglass is what you've been watching? Are those two lamb heads? Oh, those are sunglasses. I got that wrong. Now you see Dance Bubble. That felt good. They don't have an aviator emoji equals Biden. That's funny. Ooh. I need to watch something that will like let me cry real hard, I think. Yay, a G chord. Yeah, lots of G chords. G chord city, Corey. Arthur, do you have any questions you want to ask? I'm down. Or anyone who wants to ask questions, please go ahead. Hey, Sherry, how are you? Willkommen. Maybe Arthur's not. Arthur, I'm kind of hoping that something cool is happening in Fresno today and that you're going to take photos. I want to see your photos of it. I don't know if you're still here, but I do. I want to see your photos. Doop, doop, doop. Whew, that song made me emotional. Oh, the clouds are coming in. I wonder if it's going to rain. What if it rains on us? Oh my gosh, that would be weird. I'm going to check the weather. Nashville. Oh, Lord. 90% chance of rain at 4 p.m. All right, we're going to do this as fast as we can. Maybe I should have. How far away are you from your house? I'm just in the backyard. It's good to see you, Colin. Trevor, I still need to send your package. I'm so sorry. And Arthur, if you are listening, I have a package I'm getting ready for you as well, my dear moderators who I love so much. I'm very close to, and I have a box underneath my computer so I can theoretically quickly pack everything into a box without it dying. We'll see how this stream goes. If we have to cancel it for rain, that's okay. It's not the worst thing in the world. But that's funny. Yeah, you forgot about the package. I sure didn't because the box is sitting on my kitchen table. My neck hurts today. I gave myself a massage, and I'm not a massage therapist, and I don't think I did a very good job. I think I did a very bad job, to be precise. Oh, I have books. We have so many books over here. I can read something to you from a book. Let's see what's up. What have I got? Ooh, 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 ooh. What is the what? Has anyone read this? It's a book by Dave Eggers. It's so good. It's pretty chill in Fresno, all things considered. Yeah, I kind of wish I was in Brooklyn right now because they're having like massive like celebrations from the windows, you know. Pull up a local article. Yeah, please. I'd love to hear something of what's happening in Fresno right now. I know in East Nashville, which is a neighborhood I don't live anymore, people were banging on pots and pans in the streets. Wow. Owie, I'm Owie City. That was really good. Do 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 do. Has anyone here read What is the What? It's really good. It's by Dave Eggers. He wrote a heartbreaking work of staggering genius. That's the actual title of his book. And that book's fine. It's kind of about losing his parents.
It's not as good, I think, as What is the What. But he also does a lot of. I think he lives in San Francisco. Does a lot of work to end the school to prison pipeline, and then does a lot of work to empower young kids so that they can be nationally published at young ages, which I think is really cool. It's a really great book. It's about Valentino Achak Ding, who he interviewed in Atlanta in 2006 and basically took his account of migrating through the Sudan to make it to America, and the story is heartbreaking and great. Really, really, really beautiful. And sad. The little breeze picking up that I can hear here. Oh, Fresno Bee posts. Cool. Let's see what's up. A crowd gathers in Fresno's Tower District to celebrate Joe Biden's victory Saturday morning, November 7th. Little people dancing in the street with masks on. I'm going to pause that and watch it later. Hey! From the Fresno Bee. Dope. I moved to Nashville in 2006 from Fresno for a boy, and that relationship did not work out. We'd been best friends since about since 1998, and he was born and raised here. I didn't know that I was in an abusive relationship, but I was, and so we broke up. My dad passed shortly after I moved here, about a month or 2 months later. Yeah, I also moved after the flood. I moved to Portland, Oregon for 2.5 years. So I've been here for 12.5 years, which is cool. Or 11.5 years, something like that. Yeah, I've been here for a long time, and Nashville was a very different place when I moved here. It was, and I've been visiting since 1998, so a long time. I had a dream in 1995 that convinced me to move here. Isn't that crazy? 1998. I'm not that old, actually. I did not love Nashville when I moved here. And I will tell everyone that. It was a very different place. It was extremely misogynistic here. There were people were openly, the older people in town were openly racist. And moving here from California, it was a bit of a shock. But Nashville, I think I've mentioned before, opened my eyes when I was visiting here the second or third time, opened my eyes to the problem of national racism and how I'm looking up into the tree. So yeah, it was really fascinating. But I had a really difficult time with the culture here when I first moved here. And I think it was just culture shock. I think it was mostly culture shock. There are really subtle ways that Californians and Southerners are very different. And they're hard to pinpoint.
And then after the flood, when I moved to Portland, what's up, fast plane that I can't see? There it is. Nope, you missed it. I tried. But words. When I moved to Portland, I just kind of, wow, the sound dissipated so quickly. It was so loud, and then suddenly it wasn't. That's nuts. What's going around me? Anyway, oh, there's another one taking off. Maybe I'll get this one. We shall see. Oh, it's not. Now it's distracting me. Now I'm actually like looking for the plane so that I can show you the plane in the sky. I want to show you a plane crossing my house in the sky. Where are you? Where are you, plane? I can't see you. You're already in the clouds. But when I moved to Portland, I really struggled in Portland. I struggled with the culture. I struggled with like the spiritual atmosphere of the city. I struggled with the racism in the city, and that there were no inroads to solving that racism because no one had yet come to this idea of what implicit bias is and all these other things, and so I really struggled with how overt the racism and how clear the racism was in Portland, and that no one was, when I would try to like kindly introduce the subject into, come on man, when I would try to kindly introduce the subject into the conversation about like, well, what about this? People would get mad at me and like go completely blank and then walk away, you know. And so I really felt like, you know, I can't live here. I really need to go back to Nashville because at least there conversations about race can happen openly and honestly and without having to, you know, jump through these crazy hoops. And it was really good. And then I immediately stepped into doing racial equity work when I moved here. So coming to Nashville, and when I moved here, I also like instantly fell in love with the city. And so for all of its faults and all of its pluses and all of its minuses, you know, I fell in love with it. I think I have an idea about how to get this one. Let's see. Oh, we missed it. Going plane chasing is hard. Are those the Sony MDR 750s? They sure are. They sure are. Indeed. My other headphones went kaput. I think I blew the speakers out on them. And so I am trying to get new headphones. That's after a new camera, new headphones is the goal. Good. I didn't see it in the monitor, so good. I'm glad you saw it. I read this. When did I read this for the first time? 2008, I think. The book is this. This is the preface, because it's actually written by Valentino himself. The rest of it is a narrated account by Dave Eggers. This book is a soulful account of my life from the time I was separated from my family in Mahri El Bay to the 13 years I spent in Ethiopian and Kenyan refugee camps, to my encounters with vibrant Western cultures in Atlanta and elsewhere. As you read this book, you will learn about the 2.5 million people who have perished in Sudan's civil war. I was just a boy when the war began, and as a helpless man, I survived by trekking across many punishing landscapes while being bombed by Sudanese air forces, while dodging landmines, while being preyed upon by wild beasts and human killers. I fed on unknown fruits, vegetables, leaves, animal carcasses, and sometimes went with nothing for days. At certain points, the difficulty was unbearable. I hated myself and attempted to take my own life. Many of my friends and thousands of my fellow countrymen did not make it through these struggles alive. This book was born out of the desire on the part of myself and the author to reach out to others to help them understand the atrocities many successive governments of Sudan committed before and during the Civil War. To that end, over the course of many years, I told my story orally to the author. He then concocted this novel, approximating my own voice and using the basic events of my life as a novel. It should not be taken as a definitive story of the civil war in Sudan, nor of the Sudanese people, nor even of my brethren, those known as the Lost Boys. This is simply one man's journey, subjectively told, and though it is fictionalized, it should be noted that the world I have known is not so different from the one depicted within these pages. We live in a time when even the most horrific events in this book could occur, and in most cases did occur. Even when my hours were darkest, I believed that someday I could share my experiences with readers so as to prevent the same horrors from repeating themselves. This book is a form of struggle, and it keeps my spirit alive to struggle. To struggle is to strengthen my faith, my hope, and my belief in humanity. Thank you for reading this book, and I wish you a blessed day. We're reading from What is the What by Dave Eggers. I'll just read a couple pages at the beginning and then we'll play another song. Chapter 1. I have no reason not to answer the door, so I answer the door. I have no tiny round window to inspect visitors, so I open the door, and before me is a tall, sturdily built African-American woman, a few years older than me, wearing a red nylon sweatsuit. She speaks to me loudly. You have a phone, sir? She looks familiar. I am almost certain that I saw her in the parking lot an hour ago when I returned from the convenience store. I saw her standing by the stairs, and I smiled at her. I tell her that I do have a phone. My car broke down in the street, she says. Behind her, it is nearly night. I've been studying most of the afternoon. Can you let me use your phone to call the police, she asks. I do not know why she wants to call the police for a car in need of repair, but I consent. She steps inside. I begin to close the door, but she holds it open. I'll just be a second, she says. It does not make sense to me to leave the door open, but I do so because she desires it. This is her country and not yet mine. Where's the phone, she asks. I tell her my cell phone is in my bedroom. Before I finish the sentence, she has rushed past me and down the hall, a hulk of swishing nylon. The door to my room closes, then clicks. She has locked herself in my bedroom. I start to follow her when I hear a voice behind me. Stay here, Africa. I turn and see a man, African American, wearing a vest, powder blue baseball jacket, and jeans. His face is not discernible beneath his basketball hat, but he has on his hand something near his waist, as if needing to hold up his pants. Are you with that woman? I ask him. I don't understand anything yet, and I am angry. Just sit down, Africa, he says, nodding to my couch. I stand. What is she doing in my bedroom? Just sit your ass down, he says, now with venom. I sit, and now he shows me the handle of a gun. He's been holding it all along, and I was supposed to know, but I know nothing. I never know these things. How am I supposed to know? I do know now that I am being robbed and that I want to be elsewhere. It is a strange thing, I realize, but what I think at this moment is that I want to be back in Kakuma. In Kakuma, there was no rain. The winds blew 9 months a year, and 80,000 war refugees from Sudan and elsewhere lived on 1 meal a day. But at this moment, when the woman is in my bedroom and the man is guarding me with his gun, I want to be in Kakuma, where I live in a hut of plastic and sandbags and owned 1 pair of pants. I am not sure there was evil of this kind in the Kakuma refugee camp, and I want to return. Or even Pinudo, the Ethiopian camp I lived in before Kakuma. There is nothing there, only 1 or 2 meals a day, but it had its small pleasures. I was a boy then, and could forget that I was malnourished refugee 1,000 miles from home. In any case, if this is punishment for the hubris of wanting to leave Africa, of harboring dreams of college and solvency in America, I am now chastened and apologize. I will return with a bowed head. Why did I smile at this woman? I smile reflexively, and it is a habit I need to break. It invites retribution. I have been humbled so many times since arriving that I'm beginning to think someone is trying desperately to send me a message, and that message is, leave this place. As I settle on this position of regret and retreat, it is replaced by one of protest. This new posture has me standing up and speaking to the man in the powder blue coat. I want you to leave this place, I say. The powder man is instantly enraged. I have upset the balance here, have thrown an obstacle, my voice in the way of their errand. Are you telling me what to do, motherfucker? I stare into his small eyes. Tell me that, Africa. Are you telling me what to do, motherfucker? The woman hears our voices and calls from the bedroom. Will you take care of him? She is exasperated with her partner, and he with me. It's a really good book. It's a really good book. I'm gonna reread the whole thing. Maybe I'll do some of that here. It transfers from this story into his first days in his in Africa during a overthrow of his government, and it is really tragic and good and as in good writing. But I highly recommend it. What is the what? Yeah, super great. Check it out. We can go back into another song if we like. It's 3:20. It has not yet started raining. Yeah, my goal is, I think, Trevor, to get a pair of what are they? Audio-Technica art phones. There's a specific brand that I really, really, really want. My one of my roommates in Oregon last year, when I was at the artistic residency, had this pair, and she handed them to me and was like, I want you to hear this song. And I put the headphones on and I was like, what is happening around my head right now? And I finished the song and I was like, do you mind if I listen to a couple other songs, please? I need to understand these headphones.
headphones. And she was like, oh, yeah, aren't they amazing? So I listened to a song off of OK Computer by Radiohead, and then I listened to a song off of Amnesiac by Radiohead, and I was like, okay, last question about these headphones. Can I borrow them in a couple days for 2 hours? I want to listen to a couple of my favorite records. And she said yes. And the sound was so incredible. Like I've listened to OK Computer in high-end recording studios. It's my most favorite produced record. I think my second most favorite, my most favorite produced record is OK Computer. I think my second one is Aromanticism by Moses Sumney, and I think my third favorite produced record is Suburbs by Arcade Fire. And so I listened to OK Computer, and you could tell how far away I used to work in a recording studio. You could tell how far away the microphones were from the guitar amps. I could hear the actual sex of the background choral singers on a couple of songs. I could tell where they were standing in relationship to each other. I could tell how far away Tom York was standing from the microphone. I could hear whether or not he was hydrated enough. It was incredible. Second favorite listening experience of my life. And I have a few favorite, like the first time I heard OK Computer, first time I listened to OK Computer, I positioned myself in between my speakers in my room, and they were equidistant in the bedroom apart from me. And had the record for a long time, had tried to listen to it in the background, didn't like it when I listened to it in the background. And then one of my musical heroes talked about how that was the best record of that year, and I was like, well, I haven't really given it a fair shot, so I need to go ahead and do this. And so I pulled out the lyric sheet, put the record on, and just sat through 2 whole listens of it. And by the end of the first listen, my life was completely different. And that record, and it sounds weird to say this now because I don't think people listen to music with the same level of intensity that they used to, but that record changed my life. And it continued to change my life throughout the next year. And it continued to change my life 10 years later. And brought me this like intense hope and joy, you know, and taught me about what I love about music, you know, and what I love about smart, cleverly made music, you know. It paved the way for me hearing that Moses Sumney record and being like, what the fuck is this, you know? And now I've listened to that record so many times. It paved the way, you know, it definitely paved the way for Arcade Fire's Suburbs being released, you know? And so, yeah, really, really cool. I love to listen to music in that way. I don't often get the chance. I don't have a good audio setup right now in my home, and I want to change that. But first, I want these headphones, and I want to spend my life with these headphones. I might marry these headphones. They're quite the investment. They're the most expensive headphones I've ever heard of. So I've set aside a goal that I think it's going to take 5 or 6 years to achieve, so that I can own them and listen to records in them. And I'm really excited about making music with them. I'm also very excited because I'm starting a producer's workshop this week. So as I've told you, I've been abused in a lot of studios that I have worked in. And But I used to intern at a recording studio for 2.5 years, I think, in Fresno. And I learned a lot about it, and it paved the way for me getting signed way too early, you know. But I really understood music, and I knew how to listen to music, and I knew what I loved, and was able to really make music sound really good at that time, and I gave that power up for some reason. I think because I let men convince me to, you know, and would work in the studio in this very like submissive fashion after my first EP. The first EP I really helped produce, and I helped mix it, and I helped master it. And then the second record, I'd just been beat to heck by the music industry and had given my voice away when I got to making that second record. And then after that, I approached recording studios in a very weird way where I gave up my voice, and so wanting to reclaim that space, you know, this is really powerful for me, and wanting to just relearn how to listen in a way that encompasses joy and life. Like, yeah, really looking forward to being able to do that again. So I'm doing a producer's workshop that is specifically built for females, because a lot of the time there's just this inherent, I mean, even this mixing board that I bought yesterday, right? So this is like a week and a half long journey. Bought a Mackie mixing board first. The overhead of that mixing board I just really wasn't enjoying it. And a lot of the effects sounded very, very digital, and I wasn't enjoying that either. But the male gaze of studying recording specs tends to be very tech focused. Like, this is what it is, this is what it can do, this is what it can't do. But it doesn't go through when you're like watching a YouTube video that is comparing like the Yamaha MG 10XU next to the Mackie what is it called? Pro. I can't remember what it's called. It's the newest 10-channel Mackie mixer. When you're doing a side-by-side comparison, they just go through the specs of the machine. They don't walk through how does the reverb sound. You know, they don't walk through practically what kind of noise interference are you getting out of the board. The Mackie had a ton of noise coming out of it when I was using the XLR cables. I had to run it directly into the computer in order to reduce the noise, but I have a specific need that keeps that from being a practical possibility, in that I hate latency and want all latency to die. And then also the reverb sends that you would hear on your own mix on the Mackie weren't coming out through the computer line, so I couldn't run it into an interface without there being an enormous amount of overhead, blah, 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 tech terms. It wasn't working. I have a close friend who works at Guitar Center. She's been graciously helping me to purchase the tech that I need at Guitar Center so that I don't have to walk into the building in this time. For those of you who don't know, I'm high risk. So I've been having to do these like weird exchanges with people over the phone. So I was on the phone yesterday with this guy who calls me and is like, well, what are you using your mixing board for? It sounds like you don't need that. And I was like, no, I've been doing a lot of research. I think this is the piece of tech that I need. It's the most highly recommended tech through like the OBS website and through the Streamlabs website and through the Restream. Like everyone recommends the Yamaha MG10XU, right? And so I was like, I have a very, very, very strong hunch that because I've been reading about the overhead and this Mackie board, that this is the board that I want. And this guy is like, well, what you actually need is hardware that will provide this kind of reverb for you, and you need this interface instead of the one that you're using. And I'm sitting here just saying, like, I can't afford those things. Everything that you have just said is pushing me into $3,000 or $4,000 out of the bat. I'm telling him, I used to work in a recording studio. It was all analog. I prefer analog sound. This is what the Mackie was doing. This is how the Mackie effects sounds. Didn't work. Da 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 da. I'm trying to have this conversation with him, and he's like, "Okay, I hear you. Okay, cool." I'm like, "Yeah, of course I want this like $4,500 setup out of the gate for streaming. Of course that's gonna sound the best, but I can't do that right now. I just lost my job. This isn't a thing." And he's like, "Great, I'm gonna do some research and send you some links to some like websites, And I was like, "Oh, cool. Actually, that'd be great if you're gonna send me to like new tech or like different hardware that I can like save up for and install later, like all of this other stuff. Like that sounds amazing. Yeah, of course I want this like Apollo interface instead of this and this. But what I have right now, or what I'm hoping to get, should work." So he ends up just sends me a link to the OBS website. And I was like, "Yeah, dude, thanks." Like, and I talked to Erica about it, and she was like, "Yeah, that guy's not good at listening to women at all. He's terrible at it." And I bought this microphone from him before I went in actually looking for a completely different microphone. And this is a great mic. I love this mic. I'm not mad that I own it. I'm grateful for it. This is an AKG C214. I love this mic. But he was very dismissive of my requests for what I wanted, It's Art with Words says, "I understand the intention of what you're about to do with the Producer Summit. The male gaze is a problem, but I suggest and recommend that you also allow for non-binary folks to attend this as well." Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's geared, well, it seems like it's geared primarily, but like a couple of the ways of their branding I don't love. It was very pink, like the backgrounds are pink, the words are pink. It was like, okay, I get it. This is for women, like blah, 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 blah. I hear you. But the amazing thing about it was that in the comment section leading up to this summit, which is a free summit specifically for women who were abused in recording spaces, in the comment section leading up to this, you just see women talking about their experiences of being abused in the studio or being fired over ridiculous issues. The studio that I started in, I left, and I told him that I left because I felt like I was just eye candy after a while, that I wasn't there to learn how to do production work. I was there to impress his male musicians. He's very condescending to any females that worked in his space, and there wasn't a lot of out non-binary Well, I mean, at the time when I was in the studio, there weren't any out non-binary people coming into that particular studio, you know? And the non-binary conversation wasn't nearly as evolved as it is now. But yes, I completely agree with you, Arthur. And I do recognize that is a problem with white feminism, is that it can be very exclusive, which is some bullshit. I'm not interested around being just around my own representation. That doesn't sound awesome to me. But yeah, it can be very, very, very exclusive, and a lot of women don't understand that because they think that they have good intentions, but they don't understand how poisonous white feminism can be. It's a whole thing, man. It drives me crazy. Like yoga culture. Good God. I won't go into that right now. We'll cover the downsides of some yoga culture some other time. But it's so ableist, you know. Like, you have so many issues with people with disability being told that they're just not taking good enough care of themselves, and that's why they're struggling through those disabilities. It makes me really sad. And I have had issues with people being ableist towards me over that kind of stuff, and my friends who, for those of you who don't know, I am in a disabled community. My friends have had a lot of issues with it. So there's just so much to cover about the ways that we can do better and be better, you know. Let's sing a song before it starts to rain, which is going to happen any minute. The temperature's starting to drop out here. But thank you, Arthur, for those reminders. I'm really grateful for you, and I'm grateful for those. And also, we have someone using a leaf blower in the background. Maybe we can picture that as like a string of a chorus of string arrangements. I feel the wind deep jasmine in bloom, since I think of you, silence. I'm wide awake
birds in the trees. Shifting silence. I'm wide awake. 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 I'm wide Well, now I have leaf blowing over here, too. It's a leaf blowing extravaganza. Catbagger, hola, hola. I'm in Nashville, too. I don't know how to say your name. Cerda. Cerda? Thank you, Travis. Travis? Trevor. Why? Your Taylor fan just always throws my brain off. It makes me like start reaching for all these different names. So dumb. It's fascinating getting the same chords in different positions, isn't it? I think it is. I love coffee. Yeah, we can do Muévete. Muévete works. Muévete. Muévete, we can play. Muévete. It's 3:48. It's about to storm in Nashville. In Nashville, it's 3:48. It's about to storm in Nashville. And you can still hear the birds tweeting and the leaf blower bleeding. I'm dumb. Meow, meow, meow. So I'm excited. I think next week we're going to end up doing one of our first videos, like interview videos back here. Or in 2 weeks, rather, if the weather holds up. I met someone at a socially distanced Halloween party who left Nashville to pursue Broadway, and they ended up on the Margaritaville cast, I think. Yes. I must make sure that I drink all the water. And we were talking about just wanting to have a conversation about what representation looks like in New York City, and how things are different between Nashville and New York. He's someone, I think I've told you about my friend John Royal, who I really care about and deeply love. He's one of my close friends. And we had some conversations about him working with John Royal in one of his productions here in Nashville, and John really showing him some of the beautiful things about the city. So I'm excited about that. That'll be really fun. Yeah, Colin, you're still here. It's so good to see you. So that'll be a really, 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 really fun thing to talk about. I reached out to my cello player and asked him how he felt about coming on the show, and he's not ready. So his identifies as they them, and is a person of color, and is just struggling with how things are right now, and so they're not ready. So whoops, I think I referred to them as the wrong pronoun. I apologize, Josh. Yeah, so hopefully soon life will get injected back into the world, and they will be able to join us, because I want to share them with you, and I love them so much. And so yeah, we'll see. But I'm hopeful about starting to at least get a couple of guests in before it gets too cold to interview people directly, because I can't have people in my home. So spending some time outside is nice. And then I want to do an interview with Erica too, and we're going to work on some music stuff, so we can talk about exciting adventures that we're going to be doing as well. So yay. All right, I guess we'll do Muévete. Seems like today's a Muévete kind of day, and I think I could feel Muévete today. Move mountains. Muévete montañas. Get out of my fucking way. So let's do that. That sounds fun. Yeah, I have hopes for these streams. I think they're going to be fun. Erica. I love it when you ask Erica. I think it's so sweet.
Erica. I love her. Yeah, she's becoming one of my best friends, and it's been really fun to get to know her. She when she was really, I remember meeting her at Cup of Joe in Fresno, California. She used to run the door at a music venue where I played all the time. It was like an all ages venue, and when I met her, she was so like wide eyed and wondrous, you know, and like always really happy and a little trepidatious. And she is an incredible bass player. I mean, I think she's one of the, yeah, she does. Oh, I have a gorgeous smile. Thanks. Thanks, Chad. I thought we were still talking about Erica. Yeah, I think she's one of the best players in the world, one of the best bass players in the world. And she came to my house in Fresno once when I was visiting in 2008, I think. And my friend Paul Chesterton brought her to the house. I was really having a hard time. I was about to get out of a really, 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 really abusive relationship. This Paste magazine had highlighted me for something that I didn't want, essentially. I'm not going to go into that story, but I was just feeling really not okay. And she came over to my house and we tried like playing music together or jamming together, and it was just like there was just nothing left in me that day. And I remember feeling really insecure around her. I think I've told her this story, and she doesn't remember coming to my house at all. It's funny. It's really interesting. And she's a really, really good friend. We hung out last night. Also, Lord, this town, people going out and being willing to hang out in enclosed spaces with each other. I don't understand. Y'all, if y'all are doing that, y'all have some cojones that I do not have. I do not have those cojones. I will sit outside all day as far away from anyone as I humanly can, and that's how I'll see people. I am not getting packed in to some motherfucking bar with 1 million people so that I can play Russian roulette with my lungs. Nah. If you and Erica and Audrey Johnson got together as a band, you'd rule the world. Dude, Audrey is dope, man. She's so amazing. Sorry, I just kicked my stand. She's so incredible. I've always loved her. She's so badass. I'm trying to remember the name of the like all-girl punk band she was in the early 2000s. My friend, or not my friend. A woman was in a band with her who was dating my best friend at the time, and I can't remember her name either. Jackie. Audrey and Jackie together. Thank you, Jad. Muharrem, hello. Velkommen, Chad. But yeah, she's so good. It lights up my heart. It lights up my heart with intense joy. All right. Let's hit Muévete and then end it. It's getting dark out here. It's starting to get cold, which means it's going to rain any second, but it won't be tornado weather, which is great. But I'm going to have to pack up my stuff and get inside very quickly once this song is over. So funny. Get this tuned here. Do-do-do. That's too far.
the harmonics that open when you get it tuned to the right place. You get this like beautiful space that happens. It makes me very happy. All right, here we go. Muévete. Muévete. Here we go. you, Patrick. That felt so good. All right, Patrick, did you just join us? Did you miss the stream? I love you. It's good to see you. I think that's it. I think I'm all done. Thank you guys for joining me today. You can learn more about me if you want to at catjonesmusic.com. Thank you. Now I almost called you Taylor, Trevor. Hi. You can learn more about me at catjonesmusic.com. You can follow me and all the social things. If you want to get special perks, opportunities for art, and 10% off of a virtual art installment that I'm planning, where you get a box of physical items to your house. You get 10% off of that if you join my Patreon, even at the lowest level. And plus I have cool things like vinyl recorded just for you available on that as well, or individual pieces of art delivered to your house, videos for experimental works that I've done in the past, and then monthly songs. So you can join us over there if you would like to. That is patreon.com/CatJones and the Prophets. And you know, links and things are over on wherever they live. You can visit my link tree and it'll show you this stuff. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for your time. It's going to start raining here in a second. I'm glad we could join each other outside today. And Monday, I'll be back at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And Wednesday, Central Standard Time, we'll only be doing originals on those days. And then I'm preparing some surprises for next Friday and Saturday at 2 p.m. Central. So if you feel like it, please follow me. I'd really appreciate it. Or you can subscribe, and we'll do cool things. So, and I'm about to get those emotes on my page, which I'm also excited about. Hi, Patrick! Yay! It's so good to see you. But I love you guys. I think you're awesome. Thank you so much for joining this community and helping me build a thing together. It's been really special. So thanks again, and all the things. I'm not good at this. So now we're gonna raid a channel. That's what we're gonna do. If you're on Twitch, we are going to raise a channel. And if you're not on Twitch and you want to join us for the raid, that is twitch.tv/CatJonesMusic. So let's see, who do we want to go to? Oh, Joe Plays Violin is on. That's where we're headed. She's so dope. So we're going to hit up Joe Plays Violin. She's really great. And that's going to be super, 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 super fun. She is rad. So here we go. Oh, she's got 355. How many people does Calvin have on right now? Maybe we'll hit Calvin. Let's boost his number. Calvin Thomas Music is 35. All right, we're gonna go to Calvin Thomas Music, and boost his numbers and hang out with him for a second. So yeah, here we go, guys. Looking forward to it. Boop boop boop. Starting a raid. Starting a raid. La da 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 da. We are starting a raid with Calvin Thomas. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Here we go. Bye, everybody else.